couple of years since the mighty WD Black SN850X hit the shelves, with just minor refreshes of more everyday SSDs releasing since. That is, until this, the new WD Black SN7100 NVMe SSD. This new drive promises to be faster and more efficient than its predecessor, the WD Black SN770. So let's take a look and see if it delivers. We've been given this 1 TB sample from WD, and looking at the packaging to start with, it's a very familiar sight. Sticking with that same admittedly nice looking black and orange colour scheme, it's immediately identifiable in their product stack as being the performance option. And as you can see here at the bottom, it shows that it's the 1 TB capacity. You've got a little glimpse there at some performance numbers underneath, which we'll look at later. But now let's get the drive out of the box. So there are some interesting things to point out to you, mainly the logo. Now, if you're wondering why there's a SanDisk logo on here, this is because Western Digital have actually recently sold their SSD business to SanDisk. Western Digital will continue to make hard drives, but SanDisk will continue to make SSDs as a separate company. But some, like this one, will remain marketed under the WD and WD Black brands. So now that we've got the confusion out of the way with the brands, the other notable thing to point out with this drive is that it's single-sided, so keeping it cool in something like a laptop or a handheld games console will be so much easier. On to performance now though, and using Crystal Dismart's 1 GB test, the SN7100 pretty much hit the mark straight away, getting those advertised sequential read speeds of just over 7,200 megabytes per second, with writes trailing slightly behind stated speeds at 5,900 megabytes per second instead of the 6,900 on the box. This would hardly result in a noticeable lack of performance day to day though. Now, comparing this with the previous gen SN770, which this replaces, it's a massive improvement. As in the same test, the SN770 lags behind, managing 5,220 megabytes per second and 4,980 megabytes per second respectively. Now, whilst the SN770 outperformed claimed speeds, it was still left in the dust by the SN7100, a near 30% performance increase. And whilst there is a slight price increase for that, at less than £10, it really is a no-brainer. Moving this up to the 8 GB Crystal Dismart test now though, and read speeds remained around the same, though the lack of DRAM cache resulted in the write performance plummeting to just under 2,700 megabytes per second. This was entirely to be expected though, as large file transfers are not what this drive is made for. So if you're a video editor or someone who deals with large files often, you'd be better suited with the WD Black SN850X, as the addition of the DRAM cache means it can keep up with larger files much easier. So what is this drive actually for then? Well, they didn't intentionally leave out a DRAM cache to save some money. The lack of cache results in this drive being one of the most power efficient out there, which in turn means that it's easy to keep cool, perfect for something like a gaming laptop or a gaming handheld such as the Asus ROG Ally X. It's got more than enough performance, and for tasks such as gaming, the cache simply isn't needed and won't be something that impacts performance for when you're booting or running games from it. So the additional power efficiency is a worthwhile trade-off, meaning you keep playing on battery for longer. As always, the links to the product's features will be down below, and if you found this video helpful, do leave us a like and subscribe so you don't miss future uploads.